And welcome back to Janky AF and Year of the Aerostar, episode number 101. Boy, I hope I haven't forgotten how to do this. Thank you so much for being patient with me. And as a little thank you, I'm going to chuck in a little video here real quick. Just picked up my green 1993 Aerostar Sport the other day, so we'll give you an update on that very shortly, and then we'll get back to the main episode. So here we go.
Ever since man invented machines to move people, he has sought new ways to defeat the wing's resistance. And now there's a totally new aerodynamic design for this age. Ford brings you the age of Aerostar. Aerostar.
And welcome back to Janky AF. All right, we got the Aerostar back. It was an alternator because I'm an idiot. I probably should have just got towed back to my house and done a little diagnostic, and maybe I could have fixed that myself. But we took it to the wonderful shop that we were working with. They did a great job, quick job. We're in and out. We got the car back, so all's well that ends well. You can see we're driving just through this absolutely gorgeous valley here, and another beautiful day here at Janky AF. Sorry, it's been, my upload times have been few and far between lately. Just a lot of stuff going on. I'm playing catch up, getting back into the swing of things after doing a lot of traveling and some other things going on and yada, yada, yada. But here we are with another wonderful episode of Year of the Aerostar. We finally cracked that 100 number. We were stuck on that for a long time. We got this Ranger being real squirrely in front of us. I don't know what that was about. But a little extended introduction here as we tease another episode of Year of the Aerostar. So much more stuff to come, but I wanted to take you for a little live update of the Aerostar here. Obviously, you can see all the space in the back there. And we are on our way home here to drop it off. And there's a lot going on in the Aerostar world, quite frankly. So, without further ado, let's park the vehicle right here, get out real quick, and then we'll have another episode for you all. I like to park it on the lawn these days. I do have to mow my lawn, and it's gonna sit right there for now. There we are, running nice and cold the whole time. I mean, it barely even gets into the normal range. 119,290 miles on it. We'll chuck her into park right now. Shut her down. Started right up when I got in, and the great pull tab light. You gotta love the pull tab light right there. So nice to have it back here. 93 Sport, just an absolute showstopper. Beautiful vehicle. Okay, so there's your little update on the Aerostar. It's back, it's running, just an alternator, no biggie. And let's do some more Year of the Aerostar. Here we go, Janky do Thanky. All right, so Aerostar running like a top, new alternator, back on the road, ready to haul stuff and ready to, just cruise up and down the road with. So very happy to have that back. And I suppose now that we've shown you my 1993 Aerostar Sport, we should show you another I've forgotten how to do this. Another Ford Aerostar, and maybe it's a Sport as well. I guess we'll find out right now. So here we have a 1994 Ford Aerostar Sport, listed in Latvia. Keep calm like yes, the great nation of Latvia. And boy, feast your eyes on this beauty. Let's X out here and just go to the main screen. Listed for 1,995 euro. Just a 500 euro price drop, which of course is $2,183.58. It has a whopping 381,000 kilometers on it, which equals out to, you see, I'm a little rusty, but I did come prepared with my facts and figures. 236,742 miles. So even in mileage, this is one of the higher Aerostars we've seen. Now we have seen many Aerostars over 300,000, But certainly for the aesthetic condition of this vehicle, you know, pretty impressive that it's this high mileage. Now, let's just focus on a single picture and give you the backstory. And because I'm shooting like an editor, I will leave a gap here to edit this out and probably put in some sweet Aerostar footage if it doesn't work. But I want to give a shout out to the person who brought this to my attention. So, shout out to DA Hydrographica, which is a beautiful account, and they do all sorts of cool graphics and visual stuff and custom design work for automotive stuff. Very, very cool. Not surprising then that they would be attracted to this beautiful Ford Aerostar. They sent me a message asking me about it. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you right away. Bandied about, you know, I hope they buy it. I really hope they buy it. There's not too many Aerostars in Latvia, I have to believe. And this certainly is just, you know, we'll talk about the aesthetics, but it's got all the bells and whistles. It's just an absolutely amazing, beautiful example. A lot of like custom little touches here and there. So thank you. And I guess here will be my break in case I edited that out. Thank you to you who sent me this, and hopefully we can give you a proper shout out here on your Aerostar. If you'd rather remain anonymous, then, you know, that's okay. But here we are. So, Latvia, okay, Kristaps Porzingis comes to mind immediately. I am a New York Knicks basketball fan, so, you know, I think the wounds have been mended there, and we're all, you know, Porzingis fans at the end of the day. Certainly a very unique and, you know, captivating player. Neither here nor there. So, and there's a great music video of Keep Calm like Kristaps Porzingis.
Keep calm like Kristaps Porzingis. Keep calm like Kristaps Porzingis.
I'm giving you my Latvia trivia here. When these two dudes are doing these great donuts in this like Lamborghini.
Double, double, triple, double, like Kures Putu Dab.
And that's the song is like Keep Calm like Kristaps Porzingis. So anyways, but it's too bad they weren't shooting that music video in a Ford Aerostar, because then it really would have been, you know, like over the top.
Keep calm like Kristaps Porzingis. Keep calm like Kristaps Porzingis.
You know, really would have almost fit more than a Lamborghini somehow, because the Aerostar, it's like, you know, it's a workhorse. You're keeping calm. You're getting the job done. And certainly anybody who's in the NBA knows something about hard work. So rambling here on episode 101. It's going to be a, you know, totally crazy, janky episode, but we're easing back into it. And so we're just glad to be here, and I hope you're glad to have us back. Glad to be back with you. So I can't speak Latvian. Pisagis lizingam, I guess I'll automatiska. 3.0, benzine, probably gas, 1994. I guess I can't do this like, I'm just butchering. I can't, these Slavic languages are really, really hard. Aprakshist, 7 shitvitas, April gejukjum, styres, Hydroprastinishnia, Viglia meterastodiski, Styre, Reguljamma, Hi-Fi, FM, AM. So it's got a stereo, obviously, FM, AM radio. I think it's actually got cassette too, but we'll find out. Minivins, tips. I don't know if I'm doing like French now. There's just a whole lot of like, actually, it's not really like Polish where you see like all these vowels or all these consonants jammed together. There's quite a few consonants jammed together. Apshkata, I don't know what apshkata means, but down here, atpatkal. I guess that means get a hold of someone. Look at this. Apishsev auto prodod to mums. It's a lady with her keys, and she's saying it's farewell to mom because I got my own car now. I don't know. Anywho, let's see if we tap it in English right now, if we can get a translation, or hopefully the whole listing doesn't go away. And the whole listing went away. That's okay. Maybe I can find it, though, if you'll bear with me here. And I'll just kill a little time. There it is. Oh yeah, look at, we got 20% deal, Ford Aerostar. From 24 euros a month, you know, I mean, leasing from 24 euros a month. I don't know if you would, you know, is that the same as financing? I don't think you want to give this thing back after you're done paying 24 euros a month. Okay, so now we have a translation here. I apologize, that wasn't great Latvian butchering, but I'm so over my head. I did the best I can. Hopefully I made some stupid sounding things that shows you just how ignorant of a, you know, a lingual American I am. Detailed specification now. First registration, 1994. That's kind of interesting. The first time it was registered. Color, blue. MOT00, type minivan. VIN, it is a 1FM. That FM designates the Aerostar chassis, plate. And this is the funny thing about Europe. I feel like once a plate's been registered, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I always hear the Brits talk about, oh, this car, it's like attached to a registration. It might as well be a VIN number. Like once you have this like registration plate on a car, like stays with it forever, which is nothing like in the United States. Engine 3.0 petrol gas, 381,000 kilometers. Amazing. 7-seater. Okay, so now, you know, what you've all been waiting for. Let's dig into the pictures. So this looks, obviously, this is a sport model. You know, we can tell by the sort of lower bumperette. Oh no, it's not going to let us zoom. Oh boy, we're going to have trouble here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like these weird Java things. You know, if you're building a website, just keep it simple. You know, when if you want to zoom into a picture, everything like just gets weird. And anywho, my problem, not anybody else's. But so we'll just use this screen. So okay, so you have your lower sort of lip on your bumper here. You have your, you know, very stylized running boards. That's clearly like the sport model. However, it's a little different because we don't have our sport striping and our sport badging, because the silver, if you notice here, has been painted up higher than it would be on the factory. On the factory, this crease right here would be where your color change happens. And here they've gone one panel ahead to usually where like your pinstriping would go. And that silver runs into just a little bit higher. Now, what's interesting is you still have your blue painted bezels, which you would have on your normal sport version, but then the grille, they've gone back to silver, and it looks like they've painted it this nice. It's not just like your regular gray that you'd normally see. It's this like very like glossy metallic silver that actually looks quite nice, and then it bounces back to blue for the bezels. So you have this very interesting, I really actually like it, even though it's not one continuous line. This blue bezel sticks out even more because it's sandwiched between these two panels. Very interesting choice. I quite like it. So next, you have these beautiful fog lights. I've always wanted to put fog lights on an Aerostar. I think they look so cool. I'm a sucker for fog lights on pretty much anything. They look awesome. Even if you're not rallying, it's a cool look, just putting extra lights on something. I like cab lights on a truck. I just like it. I really like the look of it. I don't know what the best way to mount them is, but I like where they are mounted right here. Eventually I'll probably put, maybe even on my 93, I would like to see some yellow ones on here, but certainly these sort of rally fog lights look very, very nice on this grille, on this silver grille. And then again, you know, you got your blue on the side there. Another really funny thing that's going on here as we move to this absolutely stunning profile shot. I think these are these little like white wall. Whoever's selling this is a dealer after my own heart, because I am obsessed with white walls. I put white walls in everything. I put white walls in stuff that you shouldn't put white walls on. You know, I offend the purists in that regard, such as my Fiat X19, which actually will be coming here very shortly. Very excited about that. Neither here nor there. You can buy these little like plastic inserts, and I think they just like, you tuck them in between your tire and wheel, and they're super cheap, and it's like a faux white wall tire. You probably know what I'm talking about. It looks like they've put these on because I don't know if they make a white wall this fat anywhere anymore, and it looks like you can see little like sort of chips in it where it's like sort of started to fade away or peel off. And you know, although it looks pretty clean here. Oh my goodness, what have I done? Technical difficulties. I don't know what is going on. Okay, as I was saying, you know, you see these little, yeah, this is a good shot right here. These little like pits and chips, and it's kind of falling apart. I don't think they last very long. But I appreciate that they went for the white wall look. Like, I really like that they went for the white wall look. They said, you know what? This car doesn't have enough going on aesthetically. Let's put some white walls on it. And if we can't afford white walls or can't find them in this size, let's just put some white wall strips around it. Maybe they're even painted. I've seen people painting on their own white walls. So who knows? But I love that they're white walls. These look like a sort of a cheap steel wheel from some sort of pickup truck that they've put on there. I don't think it's a factory wheel, but I don't think it's it's not really an alloy wheel. It looks like they've painted it. Well, I guess it's alloy insofar as maybe it is steel. I don't even know. But it looks like what, you know, like a lot of, you see these like Jeep Liberties and stuff where it's like it's not a steel wheel like we would think. It kind of resembles an alloy, but it just looks very cheap looking. Looks like they put that on there. I like a 5-spoke. So it seems like there should be some sort of like hubcap or something right there, or like wheel cap, center wheel cap there. But it looks like they've painted it silver to sort of match everything else that they painted silver. And obviously this car has had some work done, and you can kind of tell because just the fact that it's 381,000 kilometers means that it's probably not going to be this perfect, especially for an old minivan that got, you know, kicked around all over and then sent to Europe. Now, it would make sense if you imported a really nice one to Europe. And Quirky Garage 1999, thank you very much for reminding me again that some of these cars were sold natively, I believe in France and a couple other parts in Europe. I doubt they were sold natively in Latvia, but maybe this was sold originally in Europe, who knows? And it's just been there its whole life, or maybe it got, you know, brought over and someone sort of did it up like this. But if you zoom into this picture, you can kind of see there's these little waves in here. I mean, it's suspect already that the silver's painted up this high. Like, you probably wouldn't do that unless you were already doing some other body work, and then it's like, well, while you're there. And it almost looks like slightly different, but I bet this is all the same silver, because you see these little, just the way the light, these little shadows, these little, like this door creeps in a little deeper than this sliding door right here. You can see all these little remnants of like just not 100% super duper clean, perfect bodywork, which I am judging not whatsoever. I think it looks great. I think, like, I love that someone took the time to sort of resurrect this Aerostar, and even this silver paint. Like on my 93, these bumpers are sort of the gray with little black stripes. Like, and I actually think these look fantastic. This metallic silver looks really, really nice. And they painted everything. They painted the running boards. It looks like they probably took the running boards off, did some body work. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing on my 93, because right now it's just got a big slab of duct tape on it. And they went ahead and painted the bumpers. So, and it looks like they probably painted the wheels too. So aesthetically, like, I like all their choices a lot. I like the front bumpers also painted silver, and boy, in profile, this thing just looks amazing. Like, I don't even mind that. I actually kind of like how far up, and we had another van similar to this that we were talking about. I believe it was in Michigan. I think it was in Ypsilanti, Michigan, the green one, and it had black, and the black went up like just about this high. Because the nice thing is, it covers the wheel wells, so it actually almost makes sense to bring the color up. Like, if Ford had brought the color up this high from factory, I don't think you'd mind it at all. It looks more like a proper two-tone than just like an accent color. The question becomes then, like, what color do you paint the bezels? Because it's not quite up to the top level of the bezel. So if they had painted these bezels silver, it might have looked a little strange how it swooped down there. So I kind of like that they left the bezels blue, but then didn't paint the grille blue. It would be interesting to see what it would look like with the grille blue, but I kind of like that it jumps back to silver. So really, really interesting. I mean, and then the back, let's look at the back. The back actually is where you almost notice the two-tone being higher the most, because you're not used to seeing any of this tailgate with the secondary color on it, because this line, this profile line, wraps right around here, goes into your bumper. So the fact that we have the two-tone onto the tailgate is very, very nice. And quite honestly, this whole car was probably painted, because look at the condition of the paint, how it's like just shimmering like that. We're not going to get the website's not being helpful here. The other thing we'll get into, here's a great shot of it. So it looks like this is an XLT. We don't see any sport markings on it, but just super clean. And these standard length Aerostars, by today's standards, they really are quite short and compact. I mean, you can sort of zip around in this thing, and it just, especially in this rear 3/4, I think the higher paint line really does look sharp because you get part of that tailgate in there. It really looks good, and it creeps just under these tail lights. So really, really nice, tasteful job, I gotta say. Now, moving to the interior, and 94, I've seen just a lot of gray interiors on these sport models. Maybe something was different in 94, but the fact that this has the blue interior on the blue exterior makes me wonder if the vehicle it probably was blue to begin with. Maybe it was all silver and the blue was actually added. That'd be interesting because they did make an all silver Aerostar Sport, which actually would make sense that the grille was silver, but then it would be weird that the headlight bezels were painted. So I really wonder what color this car was originally. If it was just like this blue over silver, maybe it was all silver, maybe it was, well, I guess it was some sort of two-tone because it looks like it definitely was a Sport. Let's look at the interior. So, oh boy. Technical difficulties, I apologize. Not a smooth episode here as we ease our way back into the next 100 episodes. So the two-tone blue, the interior looks to be in very, very nice condition. I love the blue, and it's almost like a little bit lighter of a blue. It's not like a super dark blue. A little bit of fade, a little bit of wear, but the blue over gray with the white gray piping, very nice combination. And I just love to see all these plastic panels and rubber panels that you're used to seeing in gray or tan, usually in some sort of funky red or blue combination. I really like the blue interior. I think it looks fantastic. It looks like, not surprising, it looks like we have a purple DIY window tint. I love a purple DIY window tint, and it fits the aesthetic of this vehicle perfectly. So happy to see a purple DIY window tint on this vehicle. Now, you can tell this, looks like it's missing an armrest here. You have some sort of fabric carpeting going on down here. Looks like we are the radio. I guess, when they said it was an AM, FM, the hi-fi, looks like your radio is missing. Looks like we do have like sort of rear defroster controls. That's nice. This looks like some non-factory auxiliary thing that's been placed here. I mean, there's some sort of electronic box. The door, the dog door that, maybe the center console was in here originally and it got ripped out. A lot of mysteries, like a lot of Aerostar sleuthing to be done. I do love that it's a crank window. Crank window is always good, of course, just in case you drive off of a pier. And the vast majority of these Aerostars, these sports especially, seem like they had crank windows, which is really cool. Get another great shot of our interior here. And again, the silver piping goes on to your door cards where you have this beautiful little leather strap on your map holder card. Just little touches like that, which are very luxury touches that never get talked about in terms of like sort of the fit and finish and amenities of the Aerostar. Really like that. Love the blue steering wheel, love the blue dashboard, love everything about it. But it's definitely been tinkered with, like there's no, for a car like an Aerostar, which was never like a very, very expensive car, and even a lot of sports cars are like this, let's be honest, but this car has been tinkered with, like there's little pieces missing, there's little weird non-factory stuff going on. Like if you bought this car, you'd probably have to, it's like archaeology. You'd have to go through and figure out like what exactly was done to it and when and what's going on. My guess was that it probably had, now I would like to see the undercarriage of this. I would like to see the frame because I really think that, when you look at these pictures, it looks like there was definitely body work. This one's like another good one where you can see this door come in pretty straight, like not bad, but I would definitely guess that there's been some body work done here. As you can just see it's just slightly out of alignment, out of kilter. It looks like this bumper is hanging down a little bit loose. Now that could happen on one that was sort of never touched too, but it just looks like it's been like finicked with a bit. Again, not a judgment at all. And shoot, for $2,100 or whatever it is, 2,000 euros, like, if it's running and driving well, like, who cares, like just have it, use it and enjoy it. And, cruising through Latvia, you're going to be like one of the coolest people around because, if you're not a classic car snob, then you just appreciate it for what it is. If you are a classic car snob, well, it's got awesome 80s retro future aesthetics and 80s and 90s, which are really hot right now, especially the 90s. And it's also extremely rare, especially in Latvia. Like even in the States now, Aerostars are somewhat rare, although most people kind of know what they are. I always gauge people to see if I get looks when I'm driving mine, and I definitely get looks in it, you know. But somewhere like over here, like this would be insanely rare. So as we talked about in our Instagram conversation, so I think this is like a really, you know, really nice. You know, it's almost like a resto mod. Like obviously they haven't done any engine work to it, like you're putting in some like sort of different engine. But it's a really nice take. Like, you know, you see an old Chevelle or an old Charger or old Bel Air or something from the 50s or 60s now in America, this Americana, like chances are not everything's going to be just as it left the factory. You know, people do little tweaks here and there. Sometimes they'll, you know, if it had a 6-volt system, they'll put a 12-volt system in it. They'll put a newer air conditioning in it, or, you know, the interior will be a little bit different. It probably got reupholstered at some point, or, you know, maybe the engine's not numbers matching, all that. Like, I'm not a purist. For me, if it carries that shape, exterior shape of the era it came from, right there, I'm already like happy, because just the style is so much different. And then to get the full driving experience is like gravy. On top of that, obviously time machines or time capsules are very cool and very impressive, because it just really brings you back into that time period like nothing else can, and it's only original once. But for something like this, I think I love all the like the little additions that were done to it. So real quick, this color I really, really like, and I'm trying to put my foot on it, put my foot in my mouth, put my finger on it, because they did a lot of blues on the Aerostar, and I love this blue. This is probably my second favorite to the Cayman Green Metallic, which I have. But when I tried to find this color, now this Aerostar in particular really reminds me of this one that I've seen before, and that I think was I commenting on a post? I tried to track this one down. I think I actually have communicated with the gentleman who did this Aerostar, not this one, but this one, which is the only known V8 powered Aerostar, and very, very nice gentleman. He sold it on, and I think it's somewhere in Ohio. Maybe it'll now here you go. Maybe it'll turn up again someday. It was resold recently. This is 2014. Someone put a 5-liter in an Aerostar. Do we have pictures of it? No, this is going to be a wild episode. But you could see the thumbnail there is a Craigslist ad. So, you know, they were selling it for $4,000. Man, if this thing came up for $4,000, I don't care what interest rates are, I would be headed to the bank right now. But this color, it's not really, it's this color. This is probably what this van that we're talking about today in question started out as. And you can see the blue grille, the headlights all splashed up. You can see the red pinstriping, red Sport logo. But this blue, I don't think it's, because obviously, you know, there's the Palomino blue. This is another version of it. But it's not the Cayman Green Metallic. It's definitely not the Cayman Green, but it's also not this, which is the Palomino blue. I think it's slightly different. I think it's got it's a little bit darker, and it's got a little bit more green in it. And the Palomino blue is fantastic. I mean, wonderful color. But it's amazing that they had this blue, and then this blue, and then still did the Cayman Green Metallic, which has a lot of blue in it as well. It's like so funny how, here it is again, how, oh, there you go, Bimini blue. Bimini blue. So it's just funny that there were these 3 colors that were all very, very similar. I gotta think it's this. I think this is the Bimini. And it looks fantastic, by the way, as a non-sport, just like a regular standard window passenger van Aerostar. The gray bumpers, also very, very nice color. And I think this is quite rare too, this color. You don't see this color a lot. Seems like it was maybe in the later years, 94 and on or something like that. So, fantastic color on it, and it looks like this is that same, although this has these little decals on it. Do we have any more links? No. So then there was a dark green Aero, and actually you very rarely see the dark green Sport model either. You see a lot of these Cayman green metallics, which I have, and I don't care that it's not rare because I think it's like honestly one of the best sport colors. There's a clone of mine, although I really like my steel painted green wheels on it now. Now that I see it with the hubcaps, like it's just crying out for me every time I see one to have those painted wheels on there. I digress. Back to the original subject of today's video. This is probably going to be a long one after the introduction and everything, but so happy to be back here in Year of the Aerostar. I thought this was a fantastic example. Months, many moons ago, a fine person emailed me with a bunch of European Aerostars. So I'm going to go check those listings, and hopefully some of them are still around. I can't imagine they sell fast, but when they do find the right buyer, they probably do move fast. So I would love to do a little European tour. We'll see what happens. There was a great one in New York City that I wanted to cover because on my way back home from Europe, actually, I had a very interesting experience in New York City, so I wanted to tie that together. Just a little roadmap of where we're going here on Year of the Aerostar, but there's plenty more episodes coming. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for all of your comments. I still got to email a couple of you regarding some other things, so bear with me. I'm working on it. We're a small little channel here, managing several businesses and a lot of other stuff, and I know you are all hardworking and busy as well. So I don't take it for granted that you stay and watch this very weird, janky program here on Janky AF. And the algorithm, be damned, is what I say. So, there you have it. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Year of the Aerostar here on Janky AF. We'll clean it up for 102, I promise. And we'll have another one coming very soon. And until then, Janky do thanky.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.